Hello, Crafty Peeps. Welcome back to my channel, Crafty-ish Kristyn. Today we have WIP and Chatty Rant number 1. What is a WIP and Chatty Rant? I am so glad you asked. WIP stands for Work in Progress, and Chatty Rant is me talking and ranting while we work together. You can watch the video while you're working or have it in the background. Use it as a podcast while you're doing something maybe you don't want to do, or while you're being crafty. Either way, it's cool with me. Hopefully I can entertain you and keep you company for a bit while everybody crafts together. Today I am working on Gethsemane by Mandy Mazzano from Diamond Art Club. It is a square drill kit. It measures 92 centimeters by 56 centimeters, and it has 64 colors. So let's get started. So I am not used to working flat, so this is a little weird for me. Usually I am on my easel, but I'm doing what I gotta do. So, all right, we're gonna do the check mark. And I am working on my canvas sideways because it is really long and I can't work on it the other way. So part of it's rolled up in my lap and the other part is rolled up on my table. So a little, ooh, that was a trashy one. Put it in my trashy tray. So a little about me. I am Kristyn, Crafty-ish Kristyn, and I live in Washington State I have 2 kids. I have Mr. O, who is a teenager, and Miss L, who is a preteen who acts like a teenager. My hubby and my mom lives with us as well, and so a lot of times I just refer to her as Grandma because that's how I talked about her to the kids. So I will say, go get Grandma, or go tell Grandma. So I just call her Grandma. So yes, I am working on this canvas sideways because yeah, it's the longest canvas I have worked on. So, and you can't see my tray, unfortunately. All right, of course I am not the cleanest multi-placer by any means, but this is a very different experience trying to film something and talk and work at the same time. So we took a little road trippy trip a few weeks ago to the ocean. It's only a few hour drive for us, so it's not that far. But when you have kids and you know you're stuck in a car in traffic, it feels like a lot longer. Much longer than it actually is. I remember as a kid, I mean, I didn't have phones and iPads and all that stuff to entertain me while I was in the car. So like my kids just get to watch like videos, which seems kind of unfair. But if I don't let them watch videos, then they're gonna just talk and ask me if we're there yet, or they're gonna be hungry, or they're gonna want to stop and do this or that. So it's kind of like, you know, pick your poison. Which inconvenience do you want to have? Oh, but I used to get car sick, and so I couldn't even like look down to read a book or color or draw. I couldn't do any of that. So I literally had to just look straight ahead or out the window as a kid. Both my kids, they can look down at books and do stuff. Oh, I spilt my drills all over my hand. Look at that. Ah, haha. I was not even paying attention where my spout was pointed. Point the spout away from you and don't shake it. Smart. So It's all right. Yeah, so they get to watch videos and not annoy each other and everyone else in the car while we're driving, so it's a win-win. But we always stop at this, like, you know, family fun center type place with, you know, bumper cars and video games and expensive activities that last minutes. And yeah, so we always stop there. And we've had the same kind of like reward activity cards that have just been collecting points. And so after our trip this time, we went up there and the guy scanned the cards and he's like, whoa, you guys got a lot of points. I'm like, yeah, a lot of times we just don't use them, or the kids don't find anything they want. And because, you know, it's all junk. It's not like there's anything good. He's like, I don't think I've ever seen anybody come in with this old of a card and have that many points on it. It's like, oh, okay. So, I don't know. But those things are so expensive, and it's just like, it's just crap. Like, the games are not that fun, and, you know, you spend like, I don't know, I think it was like $120 for both kids to have, you know, one trip around the go-kart thing, one trip on the bumper cars, one bowling, which it's not really bowling, but yeah, and then some game points for the video games. So yeah, I was just glad it wasn't super busy, because when it's super busy, my anxiety just goes and I don't like super busy, loud, flashy places with lots of people. So that's pretty much my worst nightmare. But, you know, we do it for the children. We do it because they enjoy it. So, and my husband's really good at those. The games where, like, you have to, like, try to push the button at just the right time and it nudges, like, the giant roll of tickets off. He's really good at those. So, I think he got, like, 2,000 points worth of just, like, extra tickets just from playing that thing a few times. So I'm just the stuff holder. So the kids get balls and rubber ducks and who knows what other kind of junky things, and then I'm the one who literally gets handed it and says, here, hold this, here, hold this. So, which is fine. I'm like, okay, that means I get to sit down, so it's all good. So as we drive, you know, we have to go through some kind of farmy fields and stuff like that. And I always joke with the kids that, you know, when you see the big things of the hay that's been baled and wrapped in plastic, my dad used to tell me that those were marshmallow farms, and that's how marshmallows are made. They grow them in the field, and then they take them to like a factory and they cut them up, and then that's how we have marshmallows. And for the longest time I believed him. And, you know, now obviously I'm not as gullible, but my kids don't believe it. They're like, yeah, okay, Mom, whatever. But still, this time we saw green wrapped bales of hay, and so I said, look, it's mint marshmallows. And, you know, nobody thought it was funny. I thought it was hilarious, but I am apparently the only one with a sense of humor. So, yes. So another thing I love seeing when we're driving is, I love seeing cars that, like, are all weighed down. Like, you know, sometimes obviously you see like a truck and it's, you know, pulling motorcycles or a trailer or a, I don't know, a thing of horses or something, and the back end's like drooping, like it looks like it's about to drag on the ground. But I love seeing the cars or the trucks that are so like weighed down, but you can't tell what's in the car because I have an overactive imagination. And so in my mind, I'm like, ooh, what's in the car? What's in the car? What's in the car? And so, you know, I'm like sitting there going, okay, is it set up like a clown car where there's like a bunch of bodybuilders and like, you know, super buff people in it, and if you open the door, they're all just gonna kind of come piling out? Or is it like, you know, are they smuggling treasure from somewhere, and so it's all like these, you know, gold coins? Or, you know, is it just like a bunch of like old tools, or what? You know, do they just have a bunch of like dead bodies in the back? I don't know. So I like those. It passes the time while I'm driving to imagine what kind of things are in the car. So, okay, I'm gonna make sure my glue dot is not behaving like it. Ooh, I am really zoomed in. Oh my gosh. Oh, no, maybe not that much. Okay. Let's see. Is that? Oh dear. Nobody look. It's gonna make you sick. Okay, let's straighten. That's a little better. Okay. And my hand doesn't look like it's gonna like reach out and smack you. So I love seeing all the different like billboards and signs for towns and for things that, you know, are not the same things you see every day. I love it. But I have the worst sense of direction, so I'm always like, is this the right turn? Is this where I'm supposed to go? Do I need to get off the freeway here? Which exit do I take? And my husband does not understand because he can go somewhere once, like, you know, 30 years ago as a small child, and he'll instantly know how to get back there. Me, I can go somewhere 50 times and I still am like, I'm not sure if that's the right place. I better look on Google Maps real quick because I could be wrong. Let's see. So we always stay at the same hotel when we go down to the ocean because, you know, we're creatures of habit and you do what you know. But I am not like a super big fan of not sleeping in my own bed. I do it, but I'm not good at it. I like to sleep. I like to actually get a good night's sleep. And so staying in a hotel where, you know, the beds are not my bed and using pillows that are not my pillows, and, you know, nothing smells like my own house, and my cats aren't there, and I just assume no matter where I go, I'm not going to get a good night's sleep, because I just don't. I mean, I'm a horrible sleeper anyways. I have been since a kid, and I never get a full night's sleep. I constantly wake up and move and shake around and adjust my blankets and all that stuff. So sleeping in a hotel is just, it's almost like torture. And part of my issue is like, I can't deal with noises, and hotels are not quiet. You know, you have people coming and going, and, you know, different people have different schedules, or people arrive, or they're departing, or, you know, and I get that. I really do. And I mean, the hotel we go to is an older hotel, so it's going to be even louder and creakier and croakier. But my thing is just like the people who just don't seem to give a crap that they're being really loud and obnoxious and just disrespectful to everyone else around them who might be trying to sleep. I mean, it's like we have, you know, you have like the little key card reader thingies that make the little musical do-do-do-do-do whenever somebody opens their door. Well, they're so loud in the hallways, and then the doors are, you know, 70 years old or whatever. And so when the doors open and close, they slam. And, you know, when you're almost asleep, and you hear the door open and just slam, you know, at 11:30 or whatever at night, it kind of makes you jump. And it makes it so you can't just go back to sleep super easy. So I just am not a big hotel person. So, and the hotel we stay at, they've been renovating and trying to make it a little more modern, you know, which, you know, it was an older hotel, so they've made some nice improvements. I mean, some of it's kind of like, you know, putting lipstick on a pig, where you kind of made it look nice, but you didn't like actually like fix the problems. You just, you know, slap some paint on it, and you didn't actually put like stain blocking paint. You just put paint on, so you can still see like, you know, the water stains on the wall. But the room we stayed in, they had redone, and they changed all the really gross carpet out into like, you know, kind of like that vinyl plank flooring that looks like, you know, distressed wood, which is super. I mean, it looks a lot better, and you're not worried that, you know, you're walking around on 50 years worth of, you know, built up dirt. But they changed out the tables and the chairs in the little like dining area. And it used to be a semi-decent sized table. Like you could probably fit 3 people. There were 4 chairs, but 4 chairs would be pushing it. But you could sit 3 people down. Well, they changed it to this tiny little like circle table that was kind of low. And these like fake leather covered chairs that, you know, they're trying to get the, you know, the aesthetic. But the chairs were almost too high for the kind of low table. And so we walk in, and I was like, oh, that table is not big enough if we actually all want to sit down and eat something, that's for sure. And so my husband took the kids to the beach just to do a quick like little walk. And I was like, hey, I'm going to try to do some diamond painting, because I brought like a really small like SpongeBob one. Yeah, that didn't work, because the table was, I guess it was big enough, but the height of the table, and it was a little rickety, so it was like shifting back and forth. And then the chair didn't really sit at the right level of it. Was just a disaster. I was like, okay, well, I guess we're not doing this. So then I even tried, because usually I use my easel, so I'm not used to working flat like this. And so I was like, okay, well, maybe I can raise the diamond painting up a little bit so I'm not hunched over so drastically. So, but there's nothing to put the diamond painting on, because there's, you know, there's no books or anything. And so we had stopped at the Dollar General, and we got some like boxes of cereal for just, you know, like snack on. And so I was trying to use a box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch to prop the diamond painting up. But, you know, a box of cereal is not the most sturdiest thing ever in the world. So that was kind of a mess, and it didn't work. So they came back in, and I'm sitting at the table, like hunched over my diamond painting that's balancing on a box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. And my husband's like, what the hell are you doing? And I'm like, I'm trying to diamond paint, but it's not working. So yeah, I didn't get any diamond painting done. I was a little bummed, but you know, it happens. Oh, here's a little piece of trash. So I'm sure it was humorous to walk into, but yeah, not my finest moment. So I just wanted to do a little crafting. It's like everyone else gets to do what they want to do. The kids get to, you know, watch videos and play games on their iPads and stuff. And it's like, I want to do my hobby, but nope, not when your hobby actually requires you to have a little bit of space. So, and I was not about to try to take it into like bed to do it, because again, I didn't have anything to balance on, because I had just assumed that the table would be the same that it's been since, you know, the beginning of time, but it was not. Let's see. So I would love to know, this is my first WIP and Chatty Rant, so there's probably not many people watching, if any at all yet, but are you a good hotel stayer? Do you like staying in hotels? Like, how do you do it? Because I don't know how people travel for a living, because I would just be a sleep deprived zombie. I don't know how people do it. So let me know, because I would like to be better about that. So yeah, ooh, diamonds are sticking all over the place. So I do always wonder though, like when you go somewhere like a beach town or something, how do the locals really feel about, I mean, obviously you're living somewhere where it's touristy, so I mean, they want the tourists, right? But I mean, is it annoying when they go into a restaurant and you see like a bunch of people who don't live there? I mean, is it weird? I mean, because we live in it's like it's, you know, I mean, it's a city. It's not like super rural, but what am I doing? Oh my gosh, I am just mangling this. I can't even see what I'm doing. I just think it'd be like so weird to live somewhere where everybody kind of knows each other, and then you just get like a constant stream of strangers. I mean, and then you see people, you know, wearing, you know, like sweatshirts and stuff, like, you know, with your town name on it or whatever. Like, I just think it'd be kind of weird, but I don't know. I guess I've never lived in a small town. I've always lived, you know, suburbs near bigger cities. So, I mean, you see people you don't know all the time because you don't know everybody who lives around you. Oh my gosh, I can't even. Ooh. The light is like reflecting and it is making my eyes play tricks on me. Let's see, I probably shouldn't have left all this dark section for the WIP and Chat. That was not good planning on my part. I just thought I would do it while children are entertained before I have to take them outside to go and burn off some energy. So yeah. But I will say, I get a little hesitant to go places just because I am a homebody and I am indoorsy. But the weather was not, it was really hot at our house. So it was the perfect weekend to go somewhere where it was like 20 degrees cooler and there was a breeze and it was only like 60 something. So you could wear a sweatshirt and you could wear jeans. It's like, that's my perfect weather because I do not tan. My skin is not the kind of skin that tans. It's just, I am very pale, and even as a kid, I never tanned. I mean, I could slather on, it doesn't matter if I put on like, you know, like SPF 4 with the hopes of tanning, I would just end up burning. And if I wear stronger sunscreen, it doesn't matter. I never tan. So resigned myself to the fact that I'm always going to be pale. And that's okay. My kids can tan. So, but my husband doesn't really tan that much either. He gets sunburn. He can get sunburned easily too. So I don't know. Is that? I can't tell if that has a big old piece of trash on it or if it's just the reflection from my window, but you are gone. You are gone. So, let's see. I think I will be posting this video soon, and then I will start posting my kitting up videos for my cross-stitch conversion project. I had to break it into 3 parts because there's 136 colors, and so it took a while, and there was a ton of static. So it was not the smoothest kitting up that I could have filmed. You know, first kitting up film, why not? It'd be a hot mess. So, you know, it's fine. I can't. It is what it is. So, but I have actually started working on that project, and I did film my very first time working on it. So it was well, no, it wasn't easier than I expected, but it was not as stressful and kind of scary and overwhelming as I thought it would be. That's a better way to say it. Oopsie, what's going on with these diamonds? My glue dot is looking really gross, but it's like, you know, it's just at that like almost perfect stickiness, so you know, you don't really want to mess with it because it's working and it's sticking, but it's not the prettiest. Come on. So I've seen a bunch of creators posting videos of them answering some diamond painting questions that have been going around, which is kind of cool that, you know, people tag other people and then, you know, they want to hear what other people say. So that's kind of cool. I like it. And there's you know, and there's so many like events and stuff too, but I've only done one event, and that was DP for pets, and that was in, I think that was June. Was that June? Almost May or June, honestly. I can't even remember. And that was the first event I've ever like done, because, you know, I don't want the pressure really, because it just seems stressful. But it was okay. I mean, I knew I could finish the painting that I chose, so that was, you know, no biggie. But yeah, so this month I'm kind of participating in an event called Lust After Dusk, and it's from Kitten Up Kitten, who actually just Trey's from. Trey. And it's supposed to be like a fandom type, you know, something you're passionate about. And so a lot of people have, you know, gotten diamond paintings, you know, with their like, you know, favorite characters from TV shows, movies, you know, superheroes, etc. Well, I couldn't really find one that I liked, or like something that I was, you know, really lusty about. Plus I didn't think my husband would, you know, want a giant diamond painting of like, you know, Jason Momoa or something on the wall after I finish it. So I actually picked Jasper C by Diamond Art Club, and it's kind of like an abstract art piece that kind of looks like swirly paint. So I decided that technically it fit the, you know, something I'm passionate about, which is being creative. Because, you know, ever since a kid, I've always been into crafts and crafting and being creative and just, you know, I love it. So I picked that, and I'm almost halfway done, and it is round, which is not my favorite, but it actually is helping because you don't have to be as precise with your placement as, you know, let's say squares. But the gaps, the fact that you can see the background in the rounds just, oh, just, it really bugs me. And, you know, I have cats and myself and just the dust and the hair that, I mean, you can try to keep it pristine, but all of a sudden you'll just pull off a hair and you're like, where the heck did that come from? So I like squares because there's less chance for junk and stuff to get in it. But yeah, so I'm participating in Lust After Dusk. And then there is a Peggy Collins art event that is gonna go on. And I would like to do that because I do have 2 of her diamond paintings. I have Bud the Tabby, and I think it's clematis stained glass or stained glass clematis, but it's like a really colorful, beautiful flower. And that was like, when I was kind of looking at diamond paintings on Diamond Art Club, that was one of the first ones that I was like, oh wow. But of course it was sold out. So when it came back in stock, I bought it. So I would like to do that. And then there is a cross stitch conversion one in November that is from Kitten Up Kitten, and that's all about the cross stitch conversion. So I'm really excited that I actually get to participate this year. They had one in May, and I was like, I didn't, you know, I had just started diamond painting, and I'm like, oh, that looks ridiculous. Why on earth would anyone do that? That's so much work. And, you know, then as you're watching and you're like, oh, but it looks kind of cool and like a challenge. And yeah, I got sucked in. So I got all my individual pieces. I got my canvases. I got my pattern. I had to buy a tablet for Pattern Keeper because we are an Apple family, but I got a really good deal on one at Costco, and I got everything. And so I can't see. Oh, I'm wiggling the camera. I can't see what I'm doing over there. That's a mess. I can't tell. Okay, come on. There you go. Go in there. So it's been fun to work on the pattern because it's definitely a different way to diamond paint. I will agree. So I can see why people get addicted to those. But I didn't get a pattern from Heaven and Earth Designs. I know a lot of people really love the Heaven and Earth Designs, but I couldn't find one that I liked. You know, I'm not really into, you know, fairies and mystical creatures or things. I couldn't find one. I looked and I looked and I went through like all the artists and was trying. So I did end up getting a pattern on Etsy. And I really like it. It's more my speed. So I will be doing that in November. So that's, yeah, I mean, I don't want to like spread myself too thin. I know some people do multiple events every month and like, then they change events like every month. I'm just like, oh, that's a little too much for me. Oopsie. Come on. Come on, Mr. Glue Dot. So, But yeah. So I'm excited to finally, hopefully, post some of the stuff I've been recording, because I've been recording. It's just I haven't posted anything yet. So, I mean, I would like it to be a community where people can kind of talk. Oh, I missed 2. I knew I would miss some. Oh, I missed several. Well, poop. Okay, normally I would not pour them back into my tray, but I don't know if I can dip in place. Plus, I have a feeling I probably missed more than a few. So, it's fine. Anyways, like I was saying, that, you know, it could be a community where people can talk, ask questions, you know, all that jazz. So we will see, right? So, okay. Well, I think I am going to leave that here for now. So thank you so much for joining me today. I very much appreciate it. And if there's anything you would like to see, like to talk about, anything, let me know. Drop me a comment, like, subscribe, all that jazz. Things are only going to get better. I can pretty much promise that. So, for now, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Big awkward hugs. Bye!